book lovers! So today I'm here to talk to you about all the books that I've read this month, not this month but in July, and all the books that entered my bookshelf, like that I acquired. So come with me. Alright, book lovers, so I will start telling you about all the books that I've read. So I will start with the last book I've read. This book by Abdullah Taya. I think this book has an English edition. I think the name is The One Who Is Worthy of Being Loved. Here, this is the Brazilian edition. And this book is very emotional. I've read this book because it belongs to the challenge that I have been doing, which is called Around the World in 50 Books. So I will record a video explaining to you guys what is this challenge, how I get the name of the books or the book titles, like how I decide which books I'm going to read for the challenge. I will do a separate video explaining everything and showing you guys all the books that I've read for the challenge up to this month. Okay, so this is the last book I've read for the challenge, and yes, it's from Morocco. Really well written. It's very sad sometimes, emotive, visceral, like all the things that you can say about emotions, because this book was written by the perception of different characters, and each character writes a letter. So since it's a letter, it's a very personal book. All the characters write here everything that they are feeling regarding like another person, the person that they are going to send the letter to. So you get to know everything that the person who writes the letter is feeling and thinking and wanting to say to someone else. So you get into the intimacy of these characters. You really get to know deeply what they are feeling about that situation. It's not a book for kids. It has a lot of intimate moments in the letters, so yeah, for adults, and really beautiful, really quick. It is like a short book, and even though like short because it has a few pages, but also like a small book, this edition is really small. And yes, I liked it. It was one of the best books that I've read for the challenge. When if I'm talking about the African continent, but the best books I've read for the challenge are Asian books. But yeah, we'll see. This one is a good one, okay? Another book I've read in July was this book here by Nadine Gordimer. This book was originally written in English. The original name in English is No Time Like the Present. I will show you guys here the cover of the international or English edition. But the truth is that I didn't really like this book. I only read this book up to the end because it was the book for the challenge for June. I know it was for June, but the book was not like my kind of book, so it took me forever to finish. So I only finished it in July. That's why I'm talking about it today, like in this video, because I only finished it in July. And I really didn't like the author's writing. I just didn't. The beginning of the book, the first 150 pages is really good. I was really enjoying the book, but then it just fell apart. Like I started hating the book because first I like the idea. She was talking about South Africa after 1994, the like apartheid movement ended. I don't know if this is the correct pronunciation, but yeah. So the main characters here, they are a couple, a black woman and a white man, and the book talks about their life and the consequences of the end of apartheid and how it affected their lives. Like they before 94 they had to hide that they were married. Nobody could know because it was illegal for them to get married and have kids. But after 94 they were legally allowed to. And the author tried to put here her views on the educational system, uh, the political system after that, the politicians, the presidents, all the corruption that came with power now that black people were in the power, and how it went wrong in some areas and how it got better in others. I think the idea, I wanted this book to be good so bad because the topic of the book is something that really interests me. I really like it. Like, it is something that I want to learn more about, but the author, oh my god, like, the dialogues were really poorly written. Like, there was no difference in the way that the characters spoke. It sounded like every character had the same voice, you know, like all of them complained and used the same words and the same I don't know, it was just like, it sounded like the author voice. It didn't matter which person, and they had many, the book had many characters here, but it didn't matter which character was speaking. It still sounded like Nadine complaining, you know. It was not like a very real, like, the characters were not believable, I think. And there were some like scenes here that I didn't understand why she wrote the scenes, because the scenes didn't affect anything. Like when Steve has an affair and then he sleeps with an English woman, and she describes like their affair with details like 50 Shades of Grey. And I mean, this book, it didn't like, it was not necessary, and I hated the scene because the scene that they had sex was horribly written, like really bad writing, like really bad writing. Like, after that scene, I just left the book for like a week. I didn't want to touch the book. I didn't want to read the book. I hated the book after the scene. It was so poorly written. I hated it, but it was the book for the challenge. I was supposed to finish it. And also, this author, she has like a Nobel Prize. Like, she won the Nobel Prize for her writing. Hopefully not for this book, because I mean, the writing in this book, like after page 150, like, it seems that another person wrote the book. Like, it doesn't really feel like the same person wrote the amazing 150 first pages, and the other 300 pages, it didn't really feel like the same person wrote it, because the beginning was so good, and then after the beginning it was so bad. So I mean, oh god, like, yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the experience. So yes, I read this book in July. Another book that I read in July was this one, Courage. This one I loved. It's so good. I already uploaded a video about this book and my experience reading it. So you can check here on the channel the complete video, like the video with the complete experience. And also, I read this other book here, which I talk about in the same video that I talk about this one. It's Anxious Minds. It's a Brazilian book, like, it's a book written originally in Portuguese by Ana Beatriz Barbosa Silva. I talk about both of these books in detail in the other video, so you can check it out. But so these are the two last books I read in July. So I read 4 books last month. And now, guys, I'm going to talk to you about the new stuff, like the new books that entered my bookshelf, you know, the new amazing books. This one here is the book that I'm going to read now in August for the challenge Around the World in 50 Books. This Paulina Chiziane, she is a very famous book writer from Mozambique. Yeah. So, I know that some of her work was already translated into English, but this one I'm not sure. So, the name in Portuguese is O Alegre Canto da Perdiz, is the original language. I don't know if there is like an English version, but I hope you guys can read it one day because I started reading and the beginning is really good. So I hope that this one is not going to break my heart and become bad because the beginning is good. Hopefully it's not going to fail me like the other book that I was talking about that I didn't like. So hopefully it's going to be good. Next book that we are going to read for the challenge is Night of the Thousand and One Nights. This book is inspired by the ancient book A Thousand and One Nights. So it is inspired by that story, but it's not that story. You know, it's a different, completely different story. And is the book from Egypt. So I already bought the book and we are going to read this book in October. Okay. Another book from the challenge that I bought in July is this one here. Everything that is good is gonna happen. This is just my free translation. I don't know if this is the correct name of the English version. Okay, but if the original in English is Everything Good Will Come. Everything Good Will Come is the original name of the book. So, yes, this book is the book from Nigeria and we are going to read it in September. So, another book for my bookshelf and going to read it in September. Another book that I've bought, and this is about creativity. Let me check here the original name in English. Big Magic. So this is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, the woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. I loved Eat, Pray, Love. I don't know. She's such a good writer, even though it's just like a modern happy light romance. She wrote it very well. So you know, for me, liking it or enjoying a book, it doesn't matter the genre. Like, doesn't matter if it's like romance or classic or you know, like a very hard book or poetry. It just needs to be well written. Like, I just need to enjoy what the person read. So I really liked Eat, Pray, Love. So this book here is her book about being creative without fear. And I am in a phase that I want to expand my creativity. One of the reasons why I started uploading 2 years ago on my channel in Portuguese was because I needed to do something creative. Like, I needed to do something that I could use my mind. And I mean, in my profession, I don't really use any of my creativity, so I was like, I need to do something creative. So I started uploading videos on YouTube in Portuguese, my first language, and now that I've been doing it for 2 years, I feel like I wanted to expand and talk to more people, and I hope that in English I can achieve more people and influence more people to read, because this is one of my goals, to influence people to start reading or to influence people to read more, because reading is good for you guys. So yeah, this one talks about creativity. I haven't read it yet, but I hope it's good. I hope it's good because I liked her first book. And this book here, my husband gave me, so I don't know, probably there isn't the English version because it's a new book, and Lucas Verissimo is not like I mean, I might be wrong, but it's not like he's very famous here in Brazil. And the name of the book is From Coal to Diamond. The book for those who need to take care of their own business. So this is a book about developing yourself as a business person, and I think my husband gave it to me because, you know, like, I don't work for anybody else. I teach and I'm a private teacher. I teach in my house online. I don't have a boss. I don't work for any company. So I'm my own boss and I have to, run my own business and my own bills, like know how to pay, where to pay and this stuff. So I know what he meant by it, and I think it's going to help me out. But I still don't know when I'm going to read it. But I think it will be nice. Yeah, a book about how to be a better business person. And the last one, but the most beautiful one, is this biography, like Walt Disney, by Neil Gabler. This edition here is a Brazilian edition. It's like a luxurious edition. This edition is amazing. It is hardcover. Look at this detail here. I love it. It has this little thing here to mark the page. I mean, inside the book, yellow pages, big, big, big font. It's like so good to read in it. And so well done. The book's big, like very, very well done. This edition is so pretty. And yeah, like basically Walt Disney's biography. And I mean, this edition was like in my wish list for so long. Finally, I had the money and the courage to buy it because it was in the more expensive end of like books, and I usually don't buy a lot of expensive books. I mean, I have some expensive books, but I don't buy them every month. So yes, I loved it, and I hope I get the time to read it soon. So those were all the books that I bought or read in July. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm still working on like how I'm going to really talk about the books here in English, and working on the tone, working on, getting better at it, because even though I have been doing it for 2 years in Portuguese, now that I have to speak about the books in English is new. So I'm still trying to find myself, and like, am I going to be happy and bubbly, or am I going to be more like serious and relaxed? I still don't know. I'm trying to find like the perfect tone for the videos, but I hope you guys are enjoying it, and we will keep on talking about books, literature, and reading on next videos. So bye bye.